Good morning from the Goldfields. Today we are going to be exploring Kalgoorlie. It's an old mining town and it's still very much alive today. The first view that we are going to look at today, or place that we are visiting today, is the KCGM Super Pit. So in the late 1800s, Paddy Hannans, Tom Flanagan and Dan Shea were on the way to a strike at Mount Ewell and they suddenly found gold. And since then, a lot of people heard about it, flooded the town of Kalgoorlie, and it soon became a city with 25,000 residents in like around that time, as gold mining became such a big business and lots of people earning a lot of money, the town flourishing and people being prosperous. This guy named Alan Bond bought a lot of leases of private mines and turned all of that into one big company called the Kalgoorlie Consolidated Gold Mines Party Limited. So that's what KCGM means. And you have this big super pit. It's like a huge digging mine pretty much. So it's not just a mine going into like a cave, whatever, but it's like destroying all those little mines and digging openly kind of thing. If you want to join a tour group touring the actual super pit from behind the fence of where we went to right now, you'll just have to contact Kalgoorlie Tours and Charters. So the Kalgoorlie Visitor Centre is located in the old town hall of the city, and it's such a beautiful, pretty building. We're just walking around the city center, or like the town center of Kalgoorlie, and it's a very quaint, pretty, quiet town. It's a lot of old buildings and it's pretty. They're already decorated and ready for Christmas. They have this huge Christmas tree and some buntings just on the side of the road. So we are currently resting in a cafe in Kalgoorlie and having some cool drinks. It's really hot outside. It's time to cool down with some drinks. I actually got the honey gold rush just in commemoration of the fact that we are in the Goldfields. And also forgive me if I've been saying that Kalgoorlie is a town. It's actually a city. It's called the city of Kalgoorlie-Boulder. So it's a combination of the town of Kalgoorlie and the town of Boulder, and altogether they're a city. Next place we are visiting is Hannans North Tourist Mine. So when Paddy Hannan first came to this area in the late 1800s, he actually came to this very spot here and he found gold without knowing that just a few hundred kilometers south he could find more gold. So here in the Hannans Tourist Mine, there is an entrance fee of $15 per adult, and we have just currently climbed up one of the 739C haul trucks where you can climb aboard and take some photos, and it's so cool. These things are huge. So upon entrance you are given a map, and the lady at the counter will tell you all about panning for gold and gems. The gold that you are going to pan are really tiny, but they are worth more than the gems. The gems look a bit bigger, but we'll see if we can find some today. So that there was a mine arc refuge center, just in case there's an emergency. That's where all the workers will go so that they can be safe, because mining is dangerous work. So when the lady gave us the map to like the entire tourist mine, we were surprised to see a Chinese garden of remembrance. Upon reading more about why this is here, this is actually in celebration of the Chinese miners and all immigrants coming to Australia and bringing their cultures and traditions with them. And also it is a symbol of Australia and China's good relationship. This garden of remembrance was actually made by authentic Chinese artisans, and they use like traditional methods and traditional techniques in making this garden. So this is an authentic Chinese garden. So the Hannans tourist mine is pretty much a representation, or should I say a reconstruction, of what a mine actually looks like. So there are different kinds of exhibits that are around, like how their manager's office look like, what tools they use, and all that other kind of stuff. It pretty much just gives you an idea on what the mine site looked like in Paddy Hannans' time. That was what their fridge looked like back in the late 1890s. It was called the Coolgardie safe. It was invented in Coolgardie in the late 1890s. So what they did was the shelves were made of iron and put their food in there, and there was a wire mesh in the front, and then they put a hessian bag with water inside, and when warm air blows through the safe, it evaporates the water and cools the insides. Really brilliant.
You need a mat. What you need? A mat, a tin can, one tin, and a pan. One pan.
Yep.
Find your spot. Set your mat down to kneel on. Spot. And then using your tin can, dig deep and fill your tin with dirt. Empty the dirt and sand into your pan, holding the pan with the ridges facing away from you. Angle the pan downwards. Start to slowly swirl the sand and dirt out of the pan. Don't remove all the sand and dirt, leave a little bit in your pan. Examine the contents carefully. Gold looks like glitter, tiny specks in amongst the dirt.
Cool, big heap of dirt.
Oh, my hand's wet.
Oh, of course. And put it into the pan.
Don't remove the gold from your pan just yet. Purchase a plastic vial from the shop and fill halfway with water. Over the gold pan, touch your finger to the gold so it sticks to your finger and carefully pull it into your vial. Close the lid. No luck. I think someone's found all the gold.
Oh well, at least we tried. How did that experience feel?
Good. Something different.
Yeah. It at least gives you a perspective of what they had to do in the olden days, right?
Yep, but then there would have been lots of gold in those days.
Yeah, that's true. So we are currently outside in the car park area of the Museum of the Goldfields, which we will be going next. But we saw this thing just outside of the car park, and it said that it's the world's tallest bin. We've seen our fair share of big things like the big galah, the big guitar, and now we see the world's tallest bin. It's 8 meters high and no one actually knows for sure why it's there, and before you ask, it's not on the Guinness Book of World Records. And I don't even know if it's an actual bin. After some research, this apparently was constructed in 1980 for like a competition in Kalgoorlie when it was still a town, as an entry for being the tidiest town in around 1980, and they wanted this part of Hannans Street to be like the focal point, or to be where the festivities will be held. So they erected this tallest bin. It's apparently just made of pipe and painted over, and yeah.
And it's over 8 meters tall. I don't know who can reach to put stuff in the side.
Well, they obviously had, you know,
Ladders.
ladders and stuff, but I sincerely don't think that it's still used as a bin. Saying that, currently there is a
garbage truck.
garbage truck in front of me. Oh yeah, the name of the committee that started this world's tallest bin is the Keep Kalgoorlie Clean Committee, and they all start with K. Next up, Museum of the Goldfields. Remember when I said Kalgoorlie was already ready for Christmas? This Christmas tree is made of hard hats. It looks so cool! So the Museum of the Goldfields is actually free entry, but you can choose to donate, and you can see a lot of exhibits all about what life was like in the Goldfields, how it started, and also other different exhibits. Like today there was an exhibit about warships from the Second World War. You can also go to the viewing platform where you can see the whole town of Kalgoorlie. I mean, city. I always call it a town. It feels like a town to me. I mean, it doesn't feel like a city, that's why. So now we are headed to the last stop for our day in Kalgoorlie. And this place is quite interesting. Welcome to Little Melbourne! I'm guessing this place is called Little Melbourne because it's art on an old building, and it really is little because it's just one building, but there's like a little sign that says Little Melbourne. So yeah, I couldn't find anything else on Google about it, but it's beautiful. So the artwork is done by an artist called It's Rosie Woods, and it was completed in 2018. And upon going through her Instagram account and found the photo for this artwork, it seemed like she was commissioned by an organization called Heart Walk CBD that encourages artists in putting murals and art all over the Kalgoorlie CBD. Thanks for watching, please subscribe, and I shall see you on Wednesday.